Alright, moving on to your relationship and marriage lines. That area just above the flirt lines, just below the bottom ring of that Mercury or that little finger, are your relationships and your marriages. These horizontal lines sit between the top of the heart line and the bottom of the ring on that little finger. There's a timeline there, and you divide these up into 3 sections. Now, coming up from the bottom, that first section is your 20s and 30s, the middle section is your 40s and 50s, and that third section is 60 and above. You'll read those lines beginning from the back of the hand, which is the start of the relationship or the marriage, towards the palm, which is later on. The lighter lines will be relationship lines, and the darker ones, the more prominent lines, will stand out and have a great density and color to them, reflect your marriages. Okay, now as we take a look at the horizontal lines on the edge of your hand, and that first marriage, you can see it very slightly there, because usually when they're just like 3-4 years old, the lines just kind of barely show up, but you can see that line down there. And then that second marriage, you come up, and you can see the line, and you can tell that there's a lot of breaks in the line, and it's kind of a double line that goes along there, which is a good indicator of a very contentious marriage. And the line's a little bit lighter, and you can see where it have breaks in it. Now, above that, you've got another marriage line, and it's a very strong marriage line. It's a nice, deep, dark color, a very kind and loving marriage. It has very positive lines that come up off the top of the line. Very strong marriage. And then we don't see anything after that. Now, in order to see a timeline on that, we go over to the left hand, and we look on that fate line for little Y's that branch off of there. And you've got a couple of little Y's right there. You've got one right around age 66 and one around age 69. And what these are chances to marry. Because we're the masters of our own fate. We don't always have to take those chances, but it shows a couple little chances right there. Those little Y's. Very good relationship line, good marriage line. Now the children lines come down vertically from the bottom of that ring around the Mercury finger, and you count them from the inside of your palm to the outer edge. And these can be biological children, stepchildren, adopted, godchildren, or nieces and nephews. Any child that you build a strong bond with. Now as we take a look at the vertical lines coming down from that bottom ring around the pinky or the Mercury finger, we see 3 vertical lines that represent children. And I don't see any other lines there, other than there's a little gap, and then there's some grandchildren lines back behind that. But there are 3 very robust lines. Looks like a good bond with those children.